ready for a pod when old Brett Burns here sits ready for bed and gets called to come do a pod. This is how dedicated we are to you guys. Welcome, Casual Bias. Welcome, Brevin. I hope you guys are not leaving us like Brevin just did. Guys, it's URC round 11. We so spoiled for rugby. We have Super Rugby, we have Six Nations, we have URC, everything in the same month. So I'm going to skip a bit the first two games. I know it's overseas teams, but I want to just dive into the South African games first. Are you guys okay with that?
Yes, Brett, but there's something we're missing, right? And we miss it every single podcast. We have to at least ask the people that if they do like the channel, please remember to subscribe to it as well. Okay, we appreciate you guys. And we keep forgetting to ask you guys just to do that, just to do us the little favor. So we had to get it out of the way at the start.
One day we'll get fancy and we'll have a little pop-up thing at the bottom of the screen that says subscribe, click. Just to remind you guys, if you haven't already, or ring the bell for when our videos get posted at 10 o'clock every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on the dot. 10 o'clock. You have us in your views, in your midst. Anyway, nice medal there at the back, Brevin. I'm just reminding the people that we Cape Town 10's champions. Guys, Lions versus the Sharks. So it's 11th versus 16th on the log, and Saturday, 2nd of March, 3 p.m. kickoff. Do we think that the Sharks can get off that wooden spoon level, or are the Lions going to keep them humbled and keep them grounded?
Well, who would have predicted that it would have been the Lions 11th and the Sharks 16th, right? I think that is kind of the biggest shock going around. And if I have to compare the Sharks to someone, and I think it's a very equal comparison, the Sharks are literally Racing 92 at the moment. Racing with all the big names can't buy a victory at the moment. And I think the Lions gets it over the line again. Obviously, the game's at Ellis Park, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think the Lions take this one. I think they take a lot of confidence from their game against the Bulls. Not the previous one, the one before that. I think the Lions have been doing a great job. Just getting over the line each and every time. They've been very impressive. And I think the likes of Nahamba and Henku van Wyk, the likes of those guys will be very motivated going into this game, knowing they're going up against international quality players, and they are in that arrangement. What type of squad is it for South Africa? That squad that Rashi talked about. Alignment camp. Yeah, so obviously the talks about Nahamba playing against Wales in Twickenham and stuff. I think that will light the fire on these belly, and they'll come out with a solid performance against the Sharks, and they'll take it.
And do you think that, sorry, Brevin, do you think that Nahamba plays 10 again this weekend because the lineups haven't been selected yet? Brevin?
Yeah.
Oh, I think they've been sticking with it, so it's a massive possibility. Look, let me just get into my predictions first before I dive into what I think is going to happen. I actually think the Sharks are going to get this one over the line. I'm not going to lie. From what I saw against the Stormers, obviously still not good enough, but I saw improvement. I see a leader in Bongi Monambi coming back. I see maybe a bit more experience coming back in there. And I can just see the Sharks finally just getting one done. Obviously, we know the game in Durban, it was 2018 to the Lions, and that was also a pretty nail-biting game. I remember, obviously, the Sharks missing that kick at the end. But I can see the Sharks actually pulling this one off. And the reason I say this is because I just think they are due a win, and I think they have to win. Because if we think about the quality within that Sharks side, it is actually quite disgraceful that they are 16th, if you really think about it. I mean, we all like, the Sharks, but we're getting closer towards the end of the season, and the Sharks are still sitting 16th, which is not a good look for franchise rugby in South Africa. The Sharks need to get out of that 16th position. So I can see the Sharks narrowly winning this one. But as of selection-wise, I think the way the Lions need to approach this game is the way they've been approaching all games, and that's having an attacking mindset rather than, playing rugby that's not pleasing to the eye. So I can see Nohamba being selected at 10, but I think if you're going to want to take your points, Jordan Hendrickse is the man to start because he's
No, he wants to play for the Sharks. He'll give the Sharks the victory.
That's true, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe he doesn't play Jordan Hendrickse because obviously they back Nohamba and they think that he's the next guy to take them forward. So yeah, but like I said, I think the Sharks might just edge this one, and I've just got a funny feeling about it.
Yeah, well, Briva, now that you mentioned it, right, we spoke about it a couple of times. Like, the Sharks have been one of those teams that some games they've played awful, right? Let's not beat around the bush. But there's other games. Just look at the performance against the Stormers. There was a lot of potential there, especially in attack. They looked promising. They had some good performances. They just haven't gotten the results. As soon as they can turn those performances over in results, I think that will be a massive confidence boost for them, and it will give them a lot of momentum to give them like a final push in this last bit of the season, moving into the knockout stages. Like, obviously they won't get there, but I think it will do them the world of confidence going and giving it a real shove at the end.
Yeah, I agree with both of you there, because for me, the Sharks win this game on the basis of the Lions. They haven't stuck with continuity. So 1 week Nohamba is 9, the next week he's 10, the next week JP Smith is 9, then 1, sorry, and then so Ruan Smith, then JP Smith. Yeah, then they have a new loosehead prop every single week. Same with their tight head. They got a new tight head every single week. So the squad rotation is probably helping them to have gotten where they are. In the last 5 games, they've won 3 of them. But I think that the continuity now at this part of the tournament, this is when you select pretty much the same team going forward, and that continuity is not there. So there's not going to be that gelling and stuff like that. And Nohamba now, with the article, Rassi might pick him at 10. Now his head's gone from normal size to this big, and it happened exactly last year. He was on form for a little while, then got invited to the alignment camp, and then all of a sudden, where's Nohamba gone? Same thing's going to happen now.
I have a question for you guys. With the Sharks, with not the rumors, but like the kind of, it's been made official, I think, that Andre Esterhuizen and Trevor Nyakane is joining the Sharks from next season. Do you think that lights a fire under the belly, under the likes of a Francois Venter and some of the props at the Sharks camp to really step up their game before they lose their spot next season?
Yeah, so like as players, I mean, Brett can tell you as well. Like, when someone comes into the club you play for, obviously same position, you get motivated. If you don't get motivated by that and you get scared by that, you're not meant to be there, if that makes sense. You need to want the competition to be there. I mean, look at the Springboks. Every single player in that squad could start for the Springboks, okay? Pass some, but every player knows they are good enough to play and start for the Springboks. And it's that fire and that competition, and it's healthy competition that should, like you say, light a fire and make you want to play better. I mean, we've seen it across many franchises where a player will stick up their hand. I mean, Diamani obviously has been fantastic for the Stormers, and we'll get into that review just now. But when Ivan Roos has had an injury and Diamani had to play 8, I mean, look what he did. I mean, that's good competition. Now Ivan Roos has to fight for that 8 jersey back if that's where he wants to play. So it's good. It's good competition. I mean, Andre Esterhuizen and Francois Venter, 2 great players, and they're going to battle it out for sure. So yeah, I think it's healthy. I really do.
Yeah, and for me, the props, yes, they should be stressing their asses off now, because Trevor is not only a good scrummer, he's also a great team man. He's a great PR person for your team. He just adds so much value on and off the field. But I think when it comes to Francois Fenter, he doesn't need to spark up his butt because I think he's been one of the best players for the Sharks this season. So I think that it's going to be very healthy, and you might see Andre Esterhuizen slot in at 12 with Francois Fenter moving to 13 if Lucanio Am does not get his act together.
I mean, and last thing with
You
it,
call that, Brett?
that's a big shout. But I agree. I saw a story the other day, and it made me think, like, is this actually true? And I'm not doing this because I'm a Bulls fan. It's genuinely because I think it's a fair shout. Stedman Gans has been a better 13 so far this season than Lucanio Am. And I'm not joking. I'm not trying to say because I'm a Bulls fan. Like, I genuinely think he's been a better 13. And, I mean, Gans came from the 7 side of things, and he's really playing well for the Bulls. So some of these stars need to lift it up, pick up their socks, obviously. But just last thing before Casual carries on, I think the one thing that can really motivate the Lions, though, from here is they do have a realistic shot at the playoffs. And they need to let that fuel them to say, listen, let's make history here. Let's get into the playoffs of the URC. People wrote us off. People thought we would finish 15th or 16th this season. I mean, you guys had, I can't remember which Smith brother on the pod. My apologies. But yeah, and we've spoken about how grueling they have worked, and it's obviously deserved because you know we understand how hard they work. So if the Lions can really just capitalize on this opportunity to make it to the playoffs, that will be massive for the union as a whole.
Yeah, I just wanted to add something. Obviously, Lucanio Am hasn't necessarily been his world best, but I think he's kind of in the last couple of games got his act together. I think he had a very good game against the Stormers. I think he had a shaky start in the game and then kind of found his feet later on. But I don't think it's a wild shout at all to say Stefan Gans has been better because the Bulls have just been that much better. If you look at the likes of Ambrose Papier, has been looking like the prime Ambrose that we all loved when he started his career. We were all calling him to be in that Springboks position when he was there because he was scintillating. And I don't think it would be the worst shout to actually have him in the mix again because he has been the best 9 in my opinion, Springbok 9. South African 9 in the tournament. I think he's been absolutely sensational. So a bunch of the Bulls players has really stood out, and it just adds to why they've been that good this season. But I think it's time we move on, Brett, to the real big game. The real one. The big one.
Yeah, so the second the tickets went on sale, I hopped on that website and got as many tickets as I could. Because this game...
There's always that one guy.
There's always that one guy.
I mean...
I'm not missing this game for anything, for anybody. Bulls versus Stormers at Loftus. Are we going for 008? Or are you sticking with 107? What will it be? What will it be?
Brett, so I know you don't like gambling, right? I'm just going to point out something, and me and Brevan spoke about it. If you put $100 on the Stormers, you get $355 back on it. That is ridiculous odds. How are we such big underdogs? That's almost worse than the odds that Italy had yesterday against France.
Yes.
Like, what game are these guys watching? Now, we're not going to talk any further about gambling. I was just pointing out the facts here. How are we being written off against a team that we are 7-0 on? It is ridiculous. Okay?
Look.
I know it's at Loftus, but we are spanking them again. It's rugby heritage.
Look. So the only people writing you off are the idiots that do the bookmaking odds there, wherever the hell they do it. But at the end of the day, no Bulls fan can tell me that they are 1,000% confident going into this game. I'm sorry. We've lost 7 in a row to the Stormers. You cannot tell me this is a guaranteed win because it's not. The only thing I'm hopeful for is the fact that I believe if the Bulls can play their best rugby that we've seen at times in the URC,
could get a losing bonus point.
No, then I can see them winning this game. However, I'm not going to say us playing against the Lions. If we play like we did against the Lions, I cannot see us winning this game. But obviously, this is a North versus South derby. I mean, it's massive. This is the biggest game in South African rugby. I mean, come on, it's the two biggest franchises in South Africa.
Brevin, you know this better than anyone. The South always beats the North. It's like this in franchise rugby. It's like this in international rugby. The South always dominates.
Well, if we're talking recently, sure, you are our daddies. But this is going to change. I do believe the Bulls will have enough to pull this off. And I had a dream about it, to be fair. Actually, I can't believe I actually did. And the Bulls won the game 30 points. The Bulls won the game 30 points to 27. And yeah, it's going to be
30 points to 27.
30 points to 27. Close game, but we're going to edge it at the end. That's my take on it.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. This, for me, I've been thinking about this game for a while now, especially the last 3 weeks, because if the Bulls, yes, Van der Walt is an international player, but if he's the starting fly-off, I'm very confident that the Stormers are winning this game.
I agree.
Because he's got so accustomed now to the slower pace, shall I say, Northern Hemisphere rugby, that he doesn't gel at the Bulls. But if Jake White also, if he goes back to his 10-man game plan, then your 30-27 score is not even almost going to happen, because I can see a 50 points for the Stormers.
That will be beautiful.
That's just overconfident. No.
I said if the Bulls play that game plan, which I know they won't, because they know it doesn't work against the Stormers. The Stormers' defense is rock solid within the 250-meter line. So that they shouldn't play that game plan. I can't see it happening. It's not going to be a 1-3-3-1. It's going to be something completely different. Anyway, some interesting facts on the game. The Bulls have scored 349 points so far this season. Stormers only 238. And the Bulls have scored 47 tries to the Stormers 29. So it does suggest that the Bulls, when they want to attack, they can. But whenever they go to that, I can guarantee if you look back at the Bulls games, that when they go to their 10-man rugby, that's when they lose.
I know, I completely agree, because, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Against the Lions, we saw that. When they were playing their 10-man rugby, they were getting no points. No points. It was boring. It was getting them nowhere. The minute they started getting the ball wide, we scored our points. And the times have evolved. I understand that, you know, obviously as South Africans, we pride ourselves on physicality. You know, we like a good carry. But times are changing, you know. You need to add something to that. I mean, sure, bash it up twice, you know, get the gain line and then spread it wide. Do something. I mean, we have two of the best wingers in the world on the sides.
Evan already sounds annoyed. Like he already knows it's bash it up, bash it up, bash it up, bash it up. No spreading it wide. The way he's just saying bash it up twice and just spread it out wide. So it's already like he's frustrated watching the game.
Well, listen, I mean, the past two games I've had to watch, it was the first game against the Lions at Ellis. It was at Loftus. And at Loftus, I mean, I nearly went grey. At the age of 24, I nearly went grey. And that's not a good thing. And then the second game, again, 5-3 at halftime, terrible game. I'm like, what are we doing? Are we back to the Bulls that I really can't stand? And luckily we got the job done. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not disagreeing with you guys. If the Bulls play that rugby, we are in trouble, because the Storm will make a mistake. The Stormers will simply say, thank you, we'll take that ball, we'll play it to our wings and we'll score. So,
those that don't know Breven very well, he's like a super, super calm oak. Like for a lock, he's actually too calm. But that game at Loftus against the Lions, I've never seen a person go from 0 to 1,000 like that quick as I did, Breven. Oh my word. Like the calmest oak all of a sudden becomes the angriest oak. So yes, I can expect a lot more of that this coming weekend. we won't be friends this weekend.
Yeah, just to like, I know I bantered Brevon a bit, but just to like dial the banter down, the only thing that kind of stresses me out, and I'm not using this as an excuse at all, because most teams deal with it as well, is the fact that we have a couple of injuries and we're not sure who our center pairing will be. We're not sure who's going to play on the wings. Now, as I said, I'm not going to use it as an excuse because we do have talent. Like we should still, because I would like to say Hartenberg, but then the thing is like, there's no Roan Nel. I'm not sure if Dan du Plessis is ready. How is Ben Loader out now? Are we going to play Warwick Geland after he had a brilliant game against the Sharks while we all want to see Sasha and Damian Willemse and the likes of those guys? So it just feels like we don't know the squad that we're going to put out there. But I see Brevon making faces and I just dialed it back up. So after Brevon's making that faces, we're putting about 48 past them. They can score about 13 points and it's a 35-point victory. Thank you very much.
The thing is, I can't even act like I'm confident because I'm not. Because I mean, like, obviously I'm confident in what we can do. I know we can do great things. But when a team beats you 7 times in a row, it's like, okay, boys, you've learned your lesson now. Act up. I mean, the Bulls, like I saw
Brevon,
today,
it will
the
be
Bulls,
very, very embarrassing if we beat you with our injured team, second string team beating you at Loftus.
Listen, it won't.
How will that feel?
Don't use your second string. Nothing here. You guys will pick your stronger side, and that's that. If you don't, and we still
beat the
lose,
Bulls
that's
at
a problem.
Loftus.
But anyway, as I was saying, there was a mass. Like the Bulls made a post on their social media, and it said 30,000 tickets have been sold so far. I mean, we still have a week until the game. So anyone that's saying rugby's dead here, I mean, think again. 30K.
That game's will be sold out. Guaranteed.
100%. All I want to
People
do
are
is,
still waiting for their salaries.
yeah, I mean, all I wanted to do is type there like, boys, please don't give me another like, because I mean, I have to deal with you two every single episode slandering me for being a Bulls fan. Like, for once, can I just do the slandering? I beg. To the rugby gods, like, I just beg. Like, for once, and like, the Bulls just, I love them so much, but damn, when they come up against the Stormers, they can make me mull. I'm not going to lie. So,
Brett,
yeah,
you realize how beautiful this slander will be, or the banter will be from Brevon's side to say, listen, we finally got it. It's a 7-1 split now. I mean, seriously, Brevon. I mean, one victory. I mean,
oh my goodness!
You guys against the injured Stormers team.
You guys live in the present.
That is so low. That's a low blow.
Can I tell you? It's like when you're playing cricket. Like you bowl 5 balls. All 5 go for big sixes, and then the 6th ball they catch you on the boundary, and the bowler's like, "Yeah, I got you." That's gonna be Brevon.
Yeah, but you see, you guys, if I have to mention, like, see, now this is the thing, you guys are living in the past, and you blame me for living in the past.
Wow!
No, you blame me for living in the past because in the past we were your dads, and you can't even lie. Now, right now, you're our dads.
But you're talking about centuries ago.
No, centuries, mate. You were like 12. Like, relax.
Exactly. It's more than half.
It's not like you're that. You're not even that old.
Decades ago.
In fact, it wasn't. Who won the South African, like, that internal Rainbow Cup? We did. That was like 4 years ago.
Who cares about that? Rainbow Cup? What?
Yeah. Who cares?
Even the Bulls fans, like all around that I know, don't even count that as a victory because
why not?
Hans is preaching at the moment. He's doing Pilates out here.
Internal thing. We won. I'm not saying it's fantastic, but we still were the best at that time. Now, what I'm saying is, yes, you've won 7 in a row, but now it's a clean slate because the game hasn't kicked off. So. Yeah,
even if you win this game, it's just a draw for this season because we already beat you,
mate. But
okay,
this is basically going to decide the SA Shield as well. So this is a big game. I mean, this is pretty big. Now, as much as I want Stormers to be high up on the log as well, because we just won playoff rugby in South Africa. I mean, that's what we love. The Bulls have got to take this one. Like, come on, please. I beg. I really just beg. Okay,
so, by how many? What's your official prediction?
I'm going to go with my dream. I'm going to go by 3 points to the Bulls.
And you, Casual?
Stormers by 14.
You're talking crap. But anyway.
Stormers by 14.
Sure.
I'm going Stormers by 8. I think they're going to be up by 5, and they're going to try and deny the Bulls a bonus point and kick for goal, and they're going to go up by 8. That's just my prediction. Okay.
No,
Which means the Bulls don't get a losing bonus point.
Okay, moving on. Guys, it's 25 minutes into the episode. If you've made it this far and you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what you're even doing here still. Just leave. No, I'm joking. Listen, quick fire predictions. I'm going to say the 2 teams, and we're going to say who wins and by what score. We'll go in the order: casual bias, Breven, myself. Casual bias, Breven, myself. Every single game that comes from now. Okay, 5th place, Edinburgh versus 7th place, Ospreys, Edinburgh at home.
Edinburgh by 9.
Edinburgh by 15.
I'm going Edinburgh by 9 too. That's exactly what I've just written down here. Okay, Munster, 9th place Munster versus 13th place Zebra. Munster at home.
Munster by 6.
Munster by 25.
I got Munster by 2.
Wow.
Yeah, Zebra's looked good.
Yeah. Okay. We've already said this, but I'm going to carry on in the same order. Lions at home versus Sharks.
I actually want to switch my prediction of what I said. Okay. I like the Sharks backing, so I'm going Sharks by 5.
Sharks by 10.
Sharks by 1.
Wow, no one went for the Lions.
No. Okay.
Sharks need a win.
To be honest, Breven convinced me during his speech.
Even with a Bulls jersey, he says some sensible stuff sometimes. Okay, this is one of the games of the weekend for me. 4th place Benetton at home versus 2nd place Glasgow Warriors.
This is game of the weekend.
Yeah,
it is. Oh, I'm excited for this one. I'm going Benetton to get the upset victory by. I think it's going to be a high scoring game, but they're only going to win by 8 points. I think all of these games are close.
Benetton by 7. Benetton by 7.
I got Glasgow Warriors by 3.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game.
Really close this weekend.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can get these Super Brew points if it swings in the other way.
3rd place Bulls at home versus 6th place Stormers.
Stormers by 14.
Bulls by 3.
Okay, Stormers by 8. Okay, 10th place Connacht versus Scarlets. 14th place Connacht at home.
Connacht by 26.
Connacht by 13.
I also got Connacht by double figures. I got them by about 16. But I haven't written that one down yet as well. Okay. Then a very late game Saturday night for us. 12th place Cardiff versus 1st place Leinster. Cardiff at home.
Yeah, Leinster by 22.
Leinster by 5.
Wow.
Yeah, Breven's got the same as me there. I got Leinster by 7.
No way. They spanked Benetton.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling it's going to be an icky game in a sense. Like
rainy game.
Feel like, I don't know. I just think it's going to be a game where Leinster's experience and them exposing their second string side to a lot of the URC will get them over the line. Obviously they'll win. I just don't think they'll run away with it.
Yeah, that was my thought process too. Okay, last game of the weekend, we got Ulster at home in 8th place versus Dragons, trying to stay above the Sharks at second from bottom. Ulster obviously at home.
Yeah, Dragons are dog shit. They're losing that game. Ulster by... I think it's a rainy game as well. I'm going Ulster by 11 points.
I'll go Ulster by 19.
Yeah, I've actually got Ulster by 31.
There you go. There's a big one. There you go.
Yeah. I've actually
I don't
every
even think
single-
there's 31 points in the game.
every single Dragons game I've watched, like it blows my mind that they're ahead of the Sharks. They are probably the worst side I've ever seen this URC.
Who's dropped points against the Dragons? How's the Dragons got points this far? Just
I think
losing
they drew
bonus
against
points.
the Sharks. They probably drew against the Sharks.
To be fair, the Sharks did beat them at home, so that's the only thing. I think that's the only win. So
You can't say, to be fair, you beat the Dragons at home. I mean, seriously.
well, that's what it's come to.
Yeah. So that concludes our episode, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Stick around. We here to stay. You'll be seeing us for the next 40 years. We are literally here to stay. We're not going anywhere. Even if we move different countries, we will still be doing exactly what we're doing now. Casual Bias, Revan, it's been an honor. Adios, amigos.